True. I want to play GTA San Andreas.
I'm really not very sure you should be playing games like that.
Why?
Because you're like technically a 3.5-year-old iPad?
How do you know that's true?
Well, I don't know. You just appeared on my desk for the first time 3.5 years ago.
How do you know I'm not older than that?
I'm sorry. I just figured you were.
You don't know my life.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's not a secret that Rockstar have been pretty biased towards consoles, with really no game to this date being launched simultaneously on console and PC. And that means they have to go back and retroactively port these old games to PC. Some of them are fine, most notably the ones that have been released in the last few years, but others have literal anti-piracy measures left in the version of the game that is being sold, but we'll get to that eventually. Heck, even some of the ones that go to console are bad.
Subtle foreshadowing is awesome.
I'm not really focused on talking about these in any strict order, but I am talking about the absolute most recent stuff towards the end,
and the relatively old stuff first.
The first major ports that come to mind to me are the GTA phone ports back in the early days of the App Store.
I was very much too young for these games back then, too.
Look at me, I wasn't exactly old enough for the game that had the hot coffee mod.
Like, technically fit the age requirement for GTA now? But I've been playing the games for like 4 years. So according to the ESRB, technically, I shouldn't have even been playing these games until 2 months ago. I swear to you on my life, I did not go to the shoe store.
Interesting thing is that this is the only relatively easy way to still buy the original versions of these games. Not really, but they had the old graphics, so like, kind of close enough. And like, yeah, they're there. It's really just the same games. Most issues with them could really just be summed up to their mobile ports of PS2 games, first put out in 2011 on this small brick. They're put on this small brick. They are literally just the same. You just use touch controls now. You could also use a controller, and I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. The exact version of San Andreas was ported to Xbox 360 and PS3, and it came out in 2014.
The PS3 version came out.
The text-to-speech is really slow, you know what it means.
We had the 8th generation of consoles by this point, but honestly, Xbox One was pretty not great at this point, not that it was ever amazing. But hey, it was during the era where Microsoft just repeatedly decided to shoot themselves in the foot. That being said though, we are still in that era. And in fact, we'll probably never leave it. Yeah, back to the port, this thing is not that great. It's attempting to be an HD remaster. For one, the menus are literally just the mobile menus. Like, blatantly. There's so many bugs, just so many, whether visually or completely game-breaking that were not in the original. It was just very poorly optimized. But it could have been way worse. Oh boy, it could have.
Man, I sure do love subtle foreshadowing.
There were also no versions of Vice City and 3 for 360. I don't really understand that. Like, if you're gonna do a quick job on one of the games, why not do all of them?
So, you'd have more to complain about retroactively 12 years later.
You know, sometimes I really hate how you make me see the error in my ways.
Always here to help.
So actually, you know what I want to talk about? Bully. Oh, Bully. It was originally released on PS2, and it was a really late-stage PS2 game, so late that it almost coincided with the PS3's release date. Maybe that wasn't much of a concern at the time, since the PS3 was a total disaster, but everybody and their uncles, cousins, sisters, grandmother's dog's son's father had a PS2, so really anyone could buy it. But also, getting to other systems just seems logical for a new IP. So we got HD ports for the PC and Xbox 360, and also a Wii version, all labeled Scholarship Edition. I don't know much about the Wii version. That version's not really my area of expertise. I own the Wii, I have a bunch of games for it, and I even hacked it, but I don't own Bully on it. I'm sorry, man, I really am. But the Xbox 360 versions, PC versions, trust me, I've got thoughts. First off, let me just say that yes, the Scholarship Edition on 360 for Xbox One backwards compatibility is how I play the game. So the issues this version has didn't initially raise any eyebrows for me, because I didn't know what was and what wasn't in the OG version of the game. But I've done some research of my own, not by owning a PS2, but by just, Googling it, and from a video by a guy named the Nathan NS. If you're wondering why I said it like that, I messed that up so many times and I don't know why. First off, there's added content from the PS2, which is legitimately the only time out of any port this has ever happened for Rockstar. There may be some quality of life improvements, but like full-on new content in a future port of a game, this is legitimately the only time to date, to my knowledge, this has ever happened. There's new classes and even new missions. So first off, the classes. Are they really even that great?
Kinda. Not all of them are good, though.
In the game, they at least fit thematically. Math, that's a pretty primary subject. Biology, yeah. Music, yeah. Geography, I've never had a geography class, but sure, yeah, that too. The only time I ever had any kind of lesson on geography was memorizing every US state in 5th grade. Then 5th grade was cut short by COVID. So go ahead, ask me which one of these is Rhode Island.
I'll get back to you on that one in at least 5 minutes.
But again, they all fit thematically. I'll say that.
But normally, once you complete a lesson of these classes, you normally get some type of actual meaningful reward.
Like how the photography missions improve your camera from black and white to color, or how English class gets you the ability to apologize to authority figures after saying something mean to them, or how wrestling in gym gives you more moves when fighting, etc, you get it. But all of the new ones, except for geography, just give you clothes. Sure, it's another thing to knock off your list if you're a completionist, but that's kind of the only reason you do it. Geography actually gives you locations of the game's different collectibles on the map, but that's absolutely only something a completionist cares about. But I don't hate the addition of these classes, they do at least add to the world of the game. There are also Christmas missions. They're just okay. There's a series of them centering around this man named Rudy, who is some drunk in the street who claims to be Santa, but was kicked out of the North Pole. First mission, you shoot people who make fun of him with snowballs. Look man, your whole shtick just gives them easy ammunition, just maybe learn to deal with it. In the next mission, Rudy says that there's another Santa in Town Hall, and we gotta stop him. All we gotta do is basically just destroy his whole setup, and in its intended state, you can beat it in 30 seconds. Hello, this is gonna be my 80% run of the bully mission, I forgot what it's called, let's go. So you see a strat is, you have to go up here, and then you have to do a little bit of this. Then you do a little bit of this. And then, let's hope the bat doesn't break. Let's hope the bat doesn't break. It wasn't intentional. That kind of detracts a few seconds from the run. And let's do this. And if I still had the bat, maybe that'd be a little bit easier. Basically, all you have to do is destroy the castle and none of the other stuff around it, basically. So, the way they made this mission is incredibly easy, and I don't know why it's so short. How much time was that? I actually don't really care. Let me reiterate, in its intended state, I've done 2 playthroughs of this game, and in both, the game soft-locked after Santa or the police caught me. Instead of the normal process with the authority, where they catch you and they pin you to the ground and it cuts to a different location, most commonly the police station, and normally in a mission it would fail you if this happened. But in this mission, when you're pinned to the ground, you're forever stuck. You physically cannot get back up, and you're forced to go back to your previous save, and you better hope you saved recently, or else you're gonna have to redo a bunch of stuff. And on my first playthrough, I think I was put back 5 missions because I hadn't saved in that time. And of course, I wasn't randomly expecting to be thrown in purgatory. And in the last Rudy mission, we get stuff to make this area look a bit better, and we take photos of kids in his lab. This is probably only the best mission because there's actually more to do here, but this whole series of missions just did not need to be here, and are honestly thrown into the story very poorly. There's another Christmas mission, which is just music class, but a couple minutes longer than normal and with Christmas songs. It's nothing special. Its inclusion means absolutely nothing to me. There are also 2 other exclusive missions, and one, this guy says,
I want a bike or I want to fight.
So we just steal 3 bikes for him. There's actually evidence that this could have been planned for the original game because its cutscene was actually in one of the trailers for the PS2 version. And I can see why they may have cut it, because, God, it's so pointless.
Then, in this other mission, apparently the chemistry teacher tells you to just get some packages from his lab partner, then deliver them. You just deliver packages. That's it. That's all.
There's also a multiplayer mode, but not at all how you'd expect. It's just playing different minigames from classes and such competitively. It's not very good. Now the Xbox 360 version, as a port of the game, generally I'd say, if you have an Xbox in this day and age, is a competent enough version of the game, and the graphics are slightly improved. Maybe in some areas a PS2 version looks better, but I mean, it looks good enough. There are random instances of audio quality being lower than the PS2 version somehow. It's not always noticeable, but there are times when it is really noticeable. For example, this line at the end of the Mission Carnival date. Here's the PS2 version.
Thanks for a great date, Jimmy.
Now here's the Scholarship Edition.
Thanks for a great date, Jimmy.
But mostly the 360 version only really suffers from frame rate dips sometimes, and the occasional random crash. But now, let me get to the PC version. Oh my god, this game is broken. This mainly has much to do with Rockstar just not caring about updating it to run on modern PCs. It crashes constantly. They have not updated this game at all to run better. It's just been like this since at least when Windows 10 launched. That was 10 years ago. Let me repeat, that Bully has been in an almost unplayable state on PC for 10 years.
It's that one.
And maybe even longer than that.
There is a modder named Silent that made the Silent patch. It fixes the compatibility issues as well as improves the frame rate if you want to.
But, man, why didn't you guys do it yourself instead of having your fans do it for you? Fans are doing it for a multi-billion-dollar corporation. This multi-billion-dollar corporation can't fix their own games. Max Payne 1 and 2 in the OJ?
Hey Twitter world, it's me, yours truly.
Max Payne 1 and 2 in the OG GTA Trilogy are also examples where you had to go out of your way to manually fix them. Even though the I said OJ again! Like, you actually can't buy the OG GTA Trilogy on Steam anymore, or like really anywhere, so I guess it doesn't really matter anymore. GTA 4 is also an example of so many little things being off on PC. Like, it's okay enough, but just comparing it to the Xbox 360, it's so off. Also, the amount of music removed, oh my god. Like, you make hundreds of millions of dollars from GTA per year, and you're not bothered to renew these licenses? They really can't be that high for a company of your size. And this won't be the last time this happens, but it's still incredibly annoying. It got a big update in 2020, which mostly just bundled its DLC with every new purchase of the game, and removed multiplayer. They actively went out of their way to remove it from an already existing version of the game. But GTA 4's multiplayer is actively on 360 and PS3 also, but they removed it from PC. This version of the game was out for many years, and instead of improving it drastically, you remove a big feature and rename it Complete Edition. And also you remove songs and call it Complete Edition. Are you kidding me? This company actively makes me go insane, but I still love their games. It's not even a problem that's exclusive to this company. I also feel that with the company that made Steel Diver Subwars.
Steel Diver Subwars mentioned.
Now here's a PC port that I can't even fathom why it's being sold in its current state. Manhunt. This is a game being sold on Steam currently. Granted, it's $10 and it goes on sale for like $3, but it really shouldn't be sold at all if it's like this. It has anti-piracy measures left in. You know, that thing that's supposed to stop people from downloading the game without paying? This is also happening in the version that you do pay for. You can't enter this gate very early in the game, just soft locking you. And this is the version that's being sold. Now look, $10 isn't a lot, but $10 for basically only 2 minutes of gameplay? God no! After all of that, this leads me to the epitome of bad boy. Okay, why bother building up to it? You already know.
Subtle foreshadowing.
GTA, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition. Should have added and Knuckles while you're at it. I think most people know how this went over, but screw you. You're sitting down for another explanation on how the GTA the Trilogy is bad, okay? For the 50th time, let's go! So for GTA 3's 20th anniversary, full-on remasters of the original 3 games, refreshing the graphics and adding quality of life features were announced to be coming out. Stuff like mission checkpoints, waypoints, weapon wheel like in GTA 5, GTA 5 like controls, the works. They picked the developer Grove Street Games to make these versions. And what did they do before making this port? Well, they were once named War Drum Studios, and most of the stuff they did before was the ports for GTA and Bully for mobile. A big remaster, developed by a studio who had only done mobile ports up to this point. Well, okay, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I assume they were picked for a reason, right? They had 21 employees. Rockstar itself has thousands. According to this website, apparently Rockstar Games has about 3 employees. Just a hunch. I don't know if that's true. There were only 21 people working on these 3 ports. Okay, but let's get back on track. How this game looked before it came out. Even before the game came out, the new graphics were already pretty controversial. According to everything in the initial trailer, it just feels off. Then the game came out, and it was a total disaster. Constant bugs. I mean, just watch a glitch compilation. Any of these could happen at any given time. Graphically, everything was just kind of off. Everything just looked rough. Whether it be certain characters being redesigned to...
I don't even know how they screwed that up that bad.
There were also many textures upscaled using AI, so they just look incredibly off, as you probably could tell. Also, in San Andreas, this has been repeated a lot, but this whole ramble about the trilogy has also been repeated a lot, so let me just say this. Where's the fog in San Andreas? Where is it? It was mainly used back on the PS2 to technical limitations. It made the world for a PS2 game feel more real. I mean, it's not a small map, but in the Definitive Edition, it really feels like it, because what's going on here? Because, look at it, the atmosphere is totally ruined.
Also, man, look at the amount of songs that were removed.
I'm just gonna reiterate, how is Rockstar not able to repay these licenses for music? Like, they have billions of dollars. How did they mess up on this? Like, unless Michael Jackson's estate was asking for like $4 trillion for
Billie Jean
to be included, I don't understand why. But the PC version wasn't even working for a few days because they had to actually remove some of the files. Some of them were from the Hot Coffee mod. Are we kidding? How did that end up in the files again? Oh my god. You really would have thought they would have deleted all of those files from every Rockstar hard drive at that point. But no, they didn't. They somehow slipped through the cracks again. They lost millions of dollars and still somehow had backups of these files somewhere? Why? PC players were actually offered the original versions of the games exclusively for the Rockstar launcher. Maybe this was supposed to restore goodwill, but it really didn't, because these versions weren't relisted everywhere, and console players got literally nothing for it. And that's especially concerning since the refund policy on these systems digitally is pretty inconsistent. Like, sometimes, yeah, you'll get your refund, or you could be Nintendo and just literally not offer one at all. I literally just learned that this week. That's kind of stupid. Since, though, we got a big update in 2024 where many issues were fixed. Bugs are less common, but also the atmosphere of these games has largely returned with a new feature, classic lighting, which actually makes these games feel more whole, especially San Andreas. For one, I got the fog added back, but with this option, the lighting is completely corrected across the whole map. And instead of feeling bland, it actually starts to feel a lot better. You can turn classic lighting off, but Jesus Christ, why would you want to? It's just so much better. A lot of textures were also corrected from their initial botched AI upscaling, which is pretty cool. Now, this update isn't perfect, but it's a giant leap in the right direction. Who knows, maybe in the future there'll be more fixes. I mean, this update was randomly shadow dropped 3 years after it initially released, but at least these versions are currently playable. But these were actually the only ports that got a big enough fuss to get actual big fixes. Also, just as a footnote for the end, let me just say, $50 for Red Dead 1 in current day? I mean, it's a great game, but like, really? The game is 15 years old. We need to end this video on a good note. I mean, like, this is going off script a little bit, but, you guys ever play, you guys ever play Donkey Kong?
Okay.
So, Siri, what we learned today?
Why are you saying that to me like this is some kind of lesson?
I don't know, you just listen to me ramble a lot. I thought I'd try to generate some small talk, I guess.
Oh, okay.
You know, I've just run out of ideas for funny outros, you know?
Yeah, I understand that.
Man, I wish they port Rockstar Table Tennis to the Sega Master System. Am I right?
Get out.
Okay.
Swear to God next time you come in here with some annoying crap, I'll kick your ass.